the decision fatigue is real. It is fully real.
You get so much online coming at you.
Just let it go and know that whatever decision you make, you just have to trust it. And just once you've ticked it, it's your wedding day. It does it like
that's
there's
it.
so
It's
much.
yours.
It's yours.
Are you a bride who's mentally tapped out, a little bit fatigued and kind of overwhelmed by the decision-making process? Well, I've got Shenali here, who is also our bride and a stylist here at Bluebell Bridal, and we're going to dive into the idea of decision fatigue with your wedding and maybe a few ways you can combat that while you're planning your wedding. So
Yes.
welcome, Shenali, again.
Hello. Hi.
Nice to see you on here again.
Nice to see you here too.
I know. So tell me a bit about, say, decision fatigue, overwhelm. So you're obviously planning your wedding, which we're sort of learning along the process that you're planning your wedding. I'm just going to dive right into it. Do you feel like you've been overwhelmed by this process so far?
The decision fatigue is real. It is fully real. I don't feel like I even knew that. Even like working here and being amongst brides for so long, I think you have to be in it to know. And I think my bride's going to know what I'm talking about as well, because it's a thing. I feel like when you go from like working full time, you're doing your daytime or whatever it may be, and then you're going home and you're trying to plan your wedding, and I reckon I've become like a CEO of a business.
Yeah, because it's kind of like a second job, isn't it? Where you're like,
Fully.
you're working your regular job and those are long hours, and then you're coming home to try and work out florists, venue, you're trying to work out seating plans, which we just discussed earlier. Like,
there's so many moving parts, and you're getting asked all of these different questions. And I've never had to make decisions that much in your entire life. Exactly just I'm like, you go home and you've got your decor, talking about what decor do you want, what coloured chairs do you want, what flowers do you want, what particular type of flowers, where do you want your ceremony, where is it?
Can I be real? Have there been days where you've just looked at your like email and gone, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch Netflix. I'm going to sit there and I'm just going to not do nothing. This is not my day.
But you know what? I have had those moments, but then some days, like, they're part of my brain will go, I can't be bothered, I'm not doing this. But then the other part's like, if I don't do it tonight, I've got double work tomorrow. So stay there, there. And you've just got to literally just force yourself to do an hour. Now, again, I don't know, every bride might be different if you don't really care too much about it. But again, this decision fatigue, there's so much that you're being asked to make a decision on this event. And like I said, I'm literally managing so many moving parts that it's unreal. My brain, I can be like fully brain dead by the end.
Yeah. And have you found, say, with the decisions you're making as well, that you're trying to navigate, say, family and their opinions, or even friends and their opinions of your wedding?
A little bit, not so much the friends, but it's very much a lot of the stuff definitely have to ask like Andy, my partner, so we talk through things together. So sometimes it has to be where we're both in the space, both mentally ready to make that decision too.
Yeah, that's
as
true,
well.
because you both sort of have to be like ready to come together.
So some days I might be like, cool, I'm ready, I'm good to go. And he's like, oh my God, no, like my brain, I can't. Then the other days you're like, okay, I'm not ready, I'm dead, I can't. And he's like.
And then you're just like, look, this is our time. If we don't do it now, it's never going to happen.
It's never going to happen. So you just have to do it. So no, it's a bit of that. And there's lots of, when you're trying to think about all different factors.
Yeah. And do you think that's been, say, made better or worse having everything online? Because I know that you're sort of planning really overseas and things like that. So have you found like being online with that kind of thing, has that made it like good or bad? Or
I think I can understand. I know I've heard from lots of brides. Me personally, I purposely sort of stay a little bit away from social media just because, again, I just don't have the time personally. But also, secondly, it's I don't want to get that overwhelmed. I'm already so overwhelmed, but I know by having so much choice out there, so much vision, so much like there's so much beautiful things out there that you're like, oh, I want everything. And then you're like, what do I want? Do I want to go this vibe? Do I want to go that vibe? It can get so overwhelming. So I've purposely, because I work in the industry and I know I've heard a lot of my brides say that about their journey as well. I think when I've gone into my planning, I've purposely tried to be mindful to not get myself into that headspace of.
Yeah, you've kind of like taken it in what they've said and gone like, I just don't want to get overwhelmed by too many options. So I'm going to try and like keep it down and keep it minimal as to like the core vibe of what I'm looking for.
Absolutely. And that's, our brides have helped me with that so much without them even knowing about it. Like, it's just them talking about it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep that one for my wedding day. Thank you. And I'm not going to.
It's nice when you get that little sort of like osmosis of what the brides are going through and you're sort of like, oh, great. Like, I'm going to take that little wisdom and I'm going to make that for myself.
Yes, I'll take that one for myself. Thank you.
And just like lean into like, have you had any sort of like, I guess, fear of regret or missing out because you're narrowing your focus so much? Or are you sort of like, no, because it's my vision and I'm keeping my vision nice and succinct, I'm just going to block out everything else?
Yeah, I'm more that. I think, I mean, I want to say that I probably don't have as much of a lot of things, like specifics planned, but I'm very much where, no, this is where I'm going to be. This is what I want to do. So I am kind of narrowing in the focus because otherwise it could.
Yeah, it just helps with that overwhelm of not having like so much going on.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. So, I mean, the tips I would have for brides that are feeling that, because like I said, it's so real and you don't know it until you're in it, and it's so accurate, is how I try to cope or how I help. And hopefully these are some tips that I can share with my brides to share as well. It's just doing a list. And I know it seems really simple, but it's when you think about all the things you have to do and all the decisions that you're making, it seems like a big, there's so much and can be quite all-consuming. But if you just write it down in one little list format and you just tick one thing every day, just make your decisions attainable, I think, is one thing.
Yeah, so like have a priorities list of things that you want to get done maybe for the whole wedding, and then like break yourself down into like realistic goals. And I feel like that's what a lot of like gurus say for every task that you want to accomplish in life. They say, what's your end goal, stretch goal, and then just break that down into
little
reasonable
tasks. Absolutely. And as long as you do that, it doesn't feel as overwhelming. And then even with the decision, and this is what I've had to keep reminding myself, is it's your wedding day. It does it like there's so much. It's yours. There's so much out there. And you can compare so easily, and you have that. It's the fear of, am I making the wrong choice? And I think that's why you get the decision quickly.
All online, you get so much online coming at you. Like you look at, say, one dress and suddenly you're being bombarded with that dress. Yeah. And like same with flowers, you get bombarded with flowers.
100%. You're, oh my God, have I made the wrong choice? Have I not done that? But I would honestly, my take as well, my advice would be is just trust yourself. And I know, again, that's really corny and that's really simple, but you've just got to trust yourself, and you will never regret whatever decision you make as long as you stay true to what your vibe is. There's 1,000 different options and vibes out there, but as long as you stay with yours, there's not going to be no regrets.
Yeah. And have you found as well, I know you said that you weren't like a big social media person, but have you found maybe like taking a pause, muting the social media and just sort of touching grass, as they say, has just been really helpful in that?
It is a cleanse, giving yourself a day just to, and like give yourself some grace. You know, I think we can put that pressure on us so much to feel like, oh my gosh, if I don't do it, like I said before, I'm like, oh my God, if I don't do it tonight, it's never going to happen. But there are going to be some days you just have to give yourself grace, and you're doing amazing, and just let it go, and know that whatever decision you make, you just have to trust it, and just once you've ticked it, don't look back. Just
like own your decision. I think that's the one thing I see with a lot of our brides here. Once they choose their dress, it's about owning that decision, deleting all your social media about other dresses and just going, this is my dress now. And it's about owning that decision. Exactly. And it sounds like you do it for every other decision you make as well. Like once you've done flowers, venue, all that kind of thing, just own it and know that that's now your journey. That's your wedding.
And you've got to remember like that. The main thing is remember what the wedding day is for, right? It can be so easily a spectacle, and you kind of feel like, oh, I'm putting on this performance for everyone. It's an event. But in the end of the day, it is about you and your partner, just being there and sharing your love with everyone around you. So I think you've just got to remember that, and then hopefully it should be okay.
Now, is there anything, like any other sort of wisdom or advice that you wanted to give while we're here, or anything else that you had in terms of your like experience with being overwhelmed? Because we touched on, maybe taking a break from social media, owning your decisions, and then prioritizing like what needs to get done in that moment as well as in your long-term goals.
I think you've rounded up my things really well, actually. Thank you. Just gave that a really good wrap up to think of what that is. I just honestly just give yourself grace. Don't overthink this, and just make the quick decision to trust yourself with that. And if you just do them bit by bit, it's going to be
Perfect.
I think it's going to be okay. But
Perfect. And honestly, my favorite advice, I always love the feel good advice, is
share
just
with
know
us,
it's
Mark.
your wedding. At the end of the day, no matter what anyone says or what social media says, just know it's your wedding and know that you can do this.
Yeah.
No matter what you choose. And no matter what you choose, it's going to turn out amazing,
Yeah.
you know? And what you don't choose doesn't matter because no one else knows your process.
Exactly.
No one else is going to judge your process.
Exactly
They just know
right.
what is there on the day and they'll love it. They'll love it on the day no matter
Exactly
what.
right. It's funny. Nobody noticed. Like, you know, where you got the tip of the iceberg and you've got all,
Yes,
like, you know, when
yes.
you look underneath and there's all this humongously big rock underneath. Everyone's just seeing the tip and no one's seeing the sort of pressure underneath that. So don't, like, honestly, on the day, it doesn't really matter. So I think we've got to remember the end goal as we're going through the planning, because I think hopefully that'll help with the decision fatigue.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for coming in and sharing that with our brides. I'm sure it's helped a lot of brides with, that decision fatigue.
Yeah, I hope so. Like I said, I don't know if everybody's feel that, but I know I have felt it. And I know there's a lot of brides that I speak to here that can relate as well. So hopefully if any of you guys relate as well, just let us know if there's anything that you do or you use to help yourself with the decision fatigue. If you've enjoyed this, or if you even have any comments or thoughts, please put the comments down. And if you've enjoyed the episode, you can like and subscribe to the podcast, and hopefully for our next couple of episodes as well.
Yeah. Thank you.